no more Nicolas Cage, and now we just talk about the ocean and the floating that's going on in the ocean.
Now recording.
Thank you, Craig.
Last week, you all tried to rescue your ferryman from the Harpies, only to find that there only seemed to be scraps of his clothing left behind, and all of the bones around were picked clean. You were stranded on the island and wandered the island looking for maybe a potential way to fix the boat. And at night, when you started to lay down, the island was hit by a storm, and during the storm, frogfish creatures began to walk out of the ocean and attack you. After fighting off the frogfish creatures, you were then picked up by a strange crew who are flying the Agrian flag. And you just laid down to rest for the night with this crew. I didn't have time to write a big spiel this week. So, you're sleeping in your cots, or your little slings. And
I was gonna say, are they like hammocks?
I imagine hammocks, yeah. Each of you are in bunks. Perlin and Atlas are in a bunk together. Dyror and Bungus are in a bunk together, and Damien is in a bunk with one of the crewmates of the ship named Polmarith. And you all are sleeping. Damien, you are having a dream. You are having a kind of a weird dream. You're walking through a forest, do you think? It's familiar, and it's wintertime. And the trees are all encased in ice. Sorry, what?
Oh, sorry, I thought I muted my mic. Responded to neighbor.
The trees are all encased in ice. You can hear every footstep you make in the snow as you walk through this little forest. And ahead of you, you see a pond, a frozen little pond. And for some reason, you just start walking out onto this pond. And you get right to the middle and you hear... all it takes is just a little turn. And you look down and you see a glowing blue gem beneath you. And then the ice breaks and you fall through into the water. But you don't stay in the water, you're not underwater. The next thing you know, you're back on top of ice, but it's not the same ice, it's a different place. It's almost like you fell and the world shifted around you. And it's a little watering hole out. You look around and you immediately recognize it. It's a little watering hole out in the countryside back in your homeland. You can hear children laughing as they're ice skating along. And then someone taps you on the shoulder. It's him. It's someone you haven't seen in a very long time. I know his name.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Keep it as vague as you'd like. I know who you're talking about. Ambiance.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my mic today.
No, you're fine.
You'll have to listen to the recording after. It's pretty cool.
It's like you turn the mic on just to
Trying to
like
get this build up and just... But he takes your hand and you take his and you ice skate around in the rink together.
I kiss him to make sure he's real.
Hang on. You get a moment and you embrace each other and get in real close, and he leans in and you start leaning in. And then you face plant directly into the dock, or to the boards beneath your bunk, as Polnareff wakes you up and says, "It is, I say, time to get off your lazy ass." Alright.
You ruined a fantastic dream. I guess I don't know how I slept. I assume I slept in clothes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Describe my clothes. I assume they're basically like the less like warm equivalent of long johns.
Yeah, I would
linen
assume
pants,
you
linen
just
shirt.
stripped off your armor, so you're wearing whatever
true.
happens to be under it. Just kind of like a standard undershirt and some trousers.
Okay, so I feel like I can work in that, and I don't know what hygiene is like on a pirate ship, but I assume I try to be as hygienic as possible. Maybe splash some seawater on my face.
Alright, as you exit, you see a little bucket of water, and I'm not going to be like, oh, it's actually poo water or something like that.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's just like some fresh water that we drink, and you kind of like take a little cup of it and start splashing on your face and stuff.
I guess I go out on the deck.
Yeah, alright. Dyror, you and Bungus wake up together, and as you're getting up to like get ready, Bungus is kind of heaving over and getting very sick. If you kind of stop and ask him what's going on, and he's just like, I really don't like being on a boat, and doesn't seem like he's going to be much use today.
So get some rest, Bungus. Looks like you need it. It's probably all that fish ale.
As he says that, he immediately runs out and gets to the side and starts heaving over the edge.
All right. Well, I'll just walk out. I kind of just walk out onto the deck as well, and take in the sea air and look around and kind of meander around the ship until work needs to be done.
Real quick before the transition, what color was the gem in the pond?
Blue.
Blue. Thank you.
Should I be at full health?
Yeah, you should be at full health. You guys rested last night.
Okay, cool.
You guys get out on the dock, and Ulza, Polnareff, Kaimil, they are all like back at showing you everything they need to do, or you need to do. If you want to have any kind of interactions with them, anybody can start.
I'll just, as we're getting up, I'll turn to Perlin and say, I wonder what newfangled, torturous activities they have planned for us today. I still have blisters on my hands from those ropes from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm afraid I took it a little too easy yesterday, and I probably I'm gonna have to make up for that today, unfortunately. Unless I can hide. Let's see. Who do I want to hide from the most? Let me. There we go.
Sneaks under.
Yeah. I should hide inside of Bungus. I have a feeling he's not going to be moving a lot.
I use shrink to shrink the size of a bean and hide in a broom with Bungus.
I assume you don't actually have shrink as a fighter.
Oh, I meant
Yeah. Oh, Perlin.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Right. While you guys are doing all of your normal things, you see Kymel pull a map out, and he starts to pull a map out, and then a big gust of wind comes by and yanks the map out of his hand, and it starts floating around the ship. Do I have a token? I have a throwaway token. This one, fish token. The map. Let's see what direction it goes in. Right here. East. It starts flowing this way.
I'd like to try to reach out and grab it.
Roll. I'm gonna say raw dex for that.
All right, dex check. Nat
Hey!
20.
You immediately rip the map out of the air, and manage to get it.
Awesome.
Kymel says thanks for catching that. I don't know what happened, and immediately takes a step, and you just hear a crack of glass as he steps forward to reach out at it. Fuck. You look down, and Kymel seems to have stepped on the spyglass.
Yes. You definitely should be more careful with such important navigational tools.
Yeah.
Maybe I can hold on to this while you look at it. That way you're not focused on two tasks at once.
Yeah, that sounds completely fair. And I uploaded that map now.
Awesome. Yeah, as I'm holding it and I'm looking over to try to get an idea of what it is.
All right, and we are headed to Uspana, correct?
Yeah, Uspana. You're headed to Oldcastle.
Oh, sweet. I didn't realize Jack of all trades added to raw checks like that and not just skill checks, but it's any ability check that I don't have proficiency in, so. Sweet. Okay, sorry. I was really confused by the number I rolled. You said you...
23.
Yeah, well, because my dex is only +2, so I was wondering where the extra +1 came from, but apparently it adds half my proficiency bonus.
I was planning a whole fun little thing where it just kept flying around and it was going to be really hard checks.
And natural 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said you added the map?
Yeah, it's in maps.
Oh, in, okay.
In the chat.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
I feel like that's a better place to keep track of them.
Yes, no, that sounds great.
Kymel,
Yes.
I ask him, can we expect any trouble while out at sea? We know a bit of Uspana, and we know that it is a haven for pirates.
Is that what they tell you?
That's what we've heard.
I mean, it's not that bad. Most of the people there are pretty nice. Just seaport, like any other town. A
But
lot
on the
more merchants than anything. Not a lot of people stay there for too long.
Can I insight check what he's saying?
You don't feel any reason to doubt him.
Okay.
What about on the open seas? Maybe is there a chance we may run into enemy ships? Are you hauling any important cargo that might be valuable to pirates and rogues such as that?
You're asking a lot of questions that I'm really not sure if I can answer.
Just curiosity. I'd like to know the current situation and what to expect. Can you blame me?
My friend does bring up a great point. If, as part of the, members of this ship, as of, our current situation, it would behoove us to know what our situation is in its entirety. If we are going to be subject to any sort of incursion,
I mean, there's a slight chance we might get into a skirmish, but I doubt it. Most ships around here don't mess with anyone who flies that flag.
And that's the
Agrian flag.
new Agrian flag.
Isn't New Agria in conflict with one of the other nations?
Yes. They are at conflict with
And when we say New
Everyone in
Agria, we
yellow.
just mean Agria, right?
Agria, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agria is everything in red, and then the Tiefling Empire is everything in yellow. And Ekla, like that map is actually color coded.
Okay. And Agria is in sort of a colonial conflict with who again?
Yellow.
Okay.
Tieflings.
The Tiefling Empire.
Which is named what?
The Tiefla.
Ifla. Nice.
Yeah. They are Tieflings from Tiefla.
Okay. What about sorry, that changed dramatically. What about Tiefla ships? Have you run into many of those in these waters?
Yeah, they don't really travel this. They don't really travel this line very often. It'd be really rare to find one. Maybe when we go up north, or maybe if we ever go up north, but up much farther north of it. When we're just heading to Savannah, they normally are going on a different line.
Understood.
Well, I guess I'm probably gonna have to buy a new spyglass. It's coming out of my pay.
Yeah, you seem a bit clumsy today. Is everything all right?
Just a hangover.
Did we drink last night? Like, do I recall us drinking last night?
You would, but you are allowed to do an insight check on that.
I'm not gonna roll an insight check. Just because I don't think I'm over here in the conversation.
But anyone who wants to roll an insight check on that.
I'll roll one, but I'm not very good at insight. Exhibit A.
Hmm. I'll say you only remember a few people drinking last night, and you can't remember if you saw Kyman drinking.
To be like, I understand. Although I can't relate, I do not partake in alcohol.
Yeah, it's a dangerous thing, you know.
Dulls the senses.
Right.
Carmel, would you like me to go inquire if the captain has an additional spyglass we might use for this part of our voyage?
Game. But I wouldn't bother him right now. He gets weird. It'll be fine though. I don't think we're gonna need it. He pulls out his compass and just starts steering the ship like normally.
I really don't mind. It might just be best if I go ahead and ask. I wouldn't want us to run afoul of any ships on the open water just for our lack of being able to see them. And I'll start heading down towards like the below decks.
All right. He's not actually below deck. He's in his quarters, but he doesn't have like a quarters on the ship. So I just set him right there. You can go knock on his door, which would be like right here.
Okay. Is it out of direct like line of sight of everyone, or is it?
No, everyone would be able to see it.
Okay.
Also, quick question: where are we sailing from? I know Uncharted Island, kind of, but where general vicinity? Like north of New Agria,
North,
east, west.
just north of New Agria, just like north of Archhole, basically.
Okay, so still
south-
well south of Espen.
Uh, Espen, where's Espen?
The little island.
Yeah.
Yeah, still pretty south of Espen, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll knock on the captain's door.
All right. What do you want?
Yes, Captain. Oh shit, I just totally blanked on his name. Kaimel, happened to, break his spyglass, and, we were inquiring if you might have one, for use so that we don't, run afoul of any pirates or other ne'er-do-wells on this, fine day of travel.
You hear him. You hear what sounds like his little footsteps from the other side of the door as he's shuffling around, and then you hear the sound of breaking glass. Oh damn it! Is all like that's what you hear. Do you inquire further?
I'll take that as a no. I just walk away. Just like mutter under my breath. Some people just do not know how to handle their alcohol.
Exactly why I do not drink.
Daror, I get the distinct impression that this is not the most well-maintained crew. And I'm whispering this to him.
Yes, I got the sense of that since we stepped foot on this ship. Although they seem to get their jobs done for the most part.
I also have the distinct impression that there were more of them until very recently, which does not necessarily bode well for new arrivals. I'd suggest we keep our guard up to an extent.
I agree. Yes, man.
What job am I doing on the ship as my as a temp crewman?
Like what's your title? You'd just be like a balloon.
No. Like what task do they have me doing, or is it like swabbing the poop deck, hoisting the mainsail, so on? Duties as assigned, sort of job, not like.
You'd probably be hoisting the mainsail right now and just being on deck on call for like anything weird that would happen. You'd probably be a bit lax right now because the water's pretty calm after the storm, after last night's storm.
What do I see on the ocean?
You want to look out on the ocean? Roll. That's definitely perception.
I would actually like to use acrobatics for looking at the ocean.
Okay.
I would like to free Willy.
All right. Yeah. No. You've convinced me. Acrobatics. Go for it. The water's pretty calm. The sun's pretty low in the sky. The water's still a little like orange from the sunrise. You see like a little bit of sea foam floating out in the distance. You see not much else of anything, just calm waters. Not a whole lot of clouds. Pretty day.
is there any form of entertainment on the deck? And slash, or do I know if there are any rules against entertainment on the deck?
I can remind you what Damien would know. There was so last night. I think I missed this detail when I was reciting it, but
So I remember last night.
Yeah, you'd remember last night. Sang you all a song and pulled out a dulcimer and played music and stuff. So they seem pretty okay with entertainment.
By entertainment, I meant gambling.
As soon as you say the word gambling, you feel the little goblin man start tugging on your coattails. Did I hear you say gambling?
Yes.
He hands you a
Is that
cup.
okay?
He hands you a cup, and inside of the cup you see 5 dice, 6-sided dice. He says, "Do you know how to play?"
Is it anything like a Shellian chess where you just roll a bunch of dice?
No, it's Liar's Dice.
Explain to me the rules of Liar's Dice.
Oh, you don't already know. I'll send you the rules later, and we'll do an actual game. But can we say that?
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
Just to save on time, send me the rules, and I will play. I will play with him.
Okay. Roll. Hang on. Can you whisper a roll and have me not see it?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah. So it wouldn't be fair. I was just gonna say roll 5d6 and we'll run a game. Yeah.
Do you want me to roll on my table?
If you've got 5d6.
Oh well, no.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not a big deal.
Olzat spends a little time explaining to everybody the rules of Liar's Dice, which I'll just find a rule sheet for it.
Oh, actually, wait. Could I just whisper my rolls to Jesse or Coleman or Connor?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you might be able to, actually. You should just try it.
Let's test it.
Yeah.
I am familiar with Liar's Dice.
How do I roll in chat? Is it another
/R?
/R space D 5d6?
Yep.
It was not about that life.
Oh, that's a really shitty roll. Actually.
Why does it keep jumping the 1 and the 6 around?
Oh, that was me. I didn't even know I could do that.
Oh.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So basically, everybody rolls 5d6s, and you roll them under a cup, and you look under your cup, and you can see how many of each number you have. You place a bid, so I would say 2 3s. And that doesn't mean that I have 2 3s. That means I think that out of everywhere around, there are 2 3s. And then the next person has to say something higher than me. So they could say 2 4s, or they could say 3 3s. But it has to be higher than what I just said.
Oh, I've played this.
Yeah, and then at the end, and then you keep going until somebody's obviously wrong, and you call them a liar, and then they lose and you win the hand.
Wait, so does that include okay, somebody has a 1, a 6 and a 5?
No.
So like,
Or does it have to always be in triplet?
No. So it's like maybe you start with 3 threes. I think at the table there are 3 threes, and then it's your turn. You have to go up. So you say, okay, yeah, I think there's 4 threes on the table. And eventually you get around, someone might say, oh, there's 7 threes. And you say, no, Dyror, I think whoever's next says, Dyror, you're lying.
5s.
Yeah, from...
Oh, so like a sum of 3s, like there are 7 3s on the table.
Correct.
Not
like,
just under my cup, but under
Right.
everyone's cup together.
Yeah. And then everyone has
Got
to
it.
reveal.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then whoever, calls the bluff wins the hand.
Roll a raw nat 20 for a luck check for how you do gambling with Olzot.
Raw D20.
It should be deception.
I wouldn't do well on deception.
Nat 10. He gets 2 gold from you, but that's it.
Fair.
You don't lose much, you don't win much.
We will be playing this once again at a later time. What's his name?
Olzot.
Olzot. I'll be winning my money back.
What's his last name?
He's a goblin. He doesn't have a last name.
Goblins don't have last names. They are savages. They don't know who their father was.
Salaz is his last name.
I'd like to walk up sort of behind Bungus.
What the fuck?
Like, Bungus, I see you're not doing very well. Can I get you anything?
I was like, I'm not Bungus, I'm Damien, but I knew you were talking.
Bungus is just... He's like, I'm good. I'm good.
Just kind of pat him on the back and then walk up to the front of the ship. I'd like to, inspect this ballista. Does it seem functional? Does it seem well used?
Roll investigation.
There's no bueno.
You've never seen a ballista before in your life. I don't know if that's true, but you look at it and you're just like, I don't know how ballistas work. I don't know if this is...
Yeah.
What is it? What is anything?
That checks out.
Yeah.
Oslot, this spear throwing device you have on the front of the ship. Can you explain to me how this works?
He scratches his head and he's like, well, you see, normally I'm not the one that runs it. But I think and he holds his little knife out. As you look at his knife, you realize it's not actually a knife, and it's got super serrated edges.
Like a butter knife?
And it looks like... Hang on, I'll post a picture of his knife. His knife looks like this. Nope. Knife looks like that.
Oh. That's quite an interesting weapon you have there.
Yeah. The punchline was he accidentally cuts the rope.
Ah.
And he just kind of don't tell anyone you saw this.
Of course, I would never mention it to a soul.
And he skitters away.
I'll walk back over to Dyror. This truly is the most incompetent crew I have ever seen in my entire life. That goblin over there just cut some rope, which looked pretty important on that spear throwing device. If we do happen to chance some pirates of better quality, I cannot imagine how we would stand up to them.
Yes, just the few hours we've spent with this crew, it's very clear they might not know what they're doing. Are they actually seafarers? They were a little, I assume the captain is, but they were a little secretive about their true intentions, I guess.
Based on the smell, I would have to assume, or hygiene just really has never been a priority of theirs. I'm going to inquire with Kymel the time to our destination. Hopefully this is a short journey.
Yes, I hope so as well. I'll accompany you.
Kymel informs you that it'll be like another 2 days of traveling. And I was just gonna time skip after this. I just wanted you to have
Okay.
to your destination.
Are we gonna have
Unless
any
you guys-
layover destinations?
No. They said it's like they're headed straight to
Okay.
Elcaster. Okay. Were you gonna say something, Perlin?
Oh, I'm
You just moved your
expecting
desk.
this rope. Yeah, I wanted to look at it.
Uh,
I'm wondering if there's a way I could just pretend I'm manning this and have that be my job for the day. But then it occurs to me that I might get blamed.
yeah. I was gonna just say that. As you walk over there, you hear Ulzat scream, He broke it! He broke the magic spear thrower! You guys spend the next few days really working hard on the ship and learning how, like, with very moderately okay instruction, basically getting a pretty good idea how ships work and how you can sail on them and keep things up. As time goes on, the crew proves themselves to be a bit more competent than this day has shown you, but Ulzat definitely should stick to being just a bosun. By the time you get to your destination, Bungus is feeling a bit better, and everybody hauls on. You pull up to the docks, and the captain comes out and hands each of you 40 gold.
Wow. I mean, as expected.
I will say, for the amount of work we did over the last couple of days, I guess this will suffice.
It should suffice. That's about all we're pulling in from this. You see Blaggart walking by carrying 2 large barrels on both of his arms. Or three in each arm. So he just stacked up on barrels. You see Ulzat pushing one by. Polnareff is able to push 2, and the captain starts pushing 1. And Kymel says, so am I Dockmaster's my problem? And Ulzat just goes, yeah. Cool. One of them beforehand mentioned that they were going to a tavern called the Leaky Schooner to deliver this stuff. And upon hearing that it was a tavern, you also look over and see Bungus also pushing one of these barrels.
Yes, I could certainly do with some decent... Well, I will say, the food Blaggart made was very good, but it still was ship's food. I could use a nice warm meal.
Me as well.
Kymel says, well, they're probably just going to be spending all day getting drunk. If you would like any kind of direction in the town for whatever you guys happen to be looking for, kind of a walking map around here. And I do need to stop by Uncharters to get a new eyeglass.
What store is he stopping by?
A place called Uncharters.
Uncharters.
Yeah.
What sort of goods does Uncharters sell?
Oh, it's a cartography firm. They sell maps and navigation goods.
Interesting.
Maybe we'd want to stop by there as well. But I do have a question, Kymel. Is there anyone here in town that would know anything about how do I say this? Magical things? Or something related to this, as I hold out my arm and show the hieroglyphs that are kind of tattooed. Are they tattoos? Or they look like tattoos?
You're not I guess they would kind of look like tattoos to you, but they don't look like any tattoos you've ever seen. But as you hold your arm out to him, he kind of looks at you a little puzzled, and he's like your fingers? What?
No, the mark on my arm.
Is that a freckle? I think that's just a freckle. Do dragonborns have freckles? That might be what you might want to get that checked out.
Does it seem like he can't see the mark?
Roll insight.
Okay. Okay, I'm not very good at this.
You get the impression he can't see it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Say, never mind. I think being out at sea is gonna mess with my head a bit. But is there anyone here in town that would know of more magical things?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of people in town. And he starts describing a lot of the things of the town to you, and here you go.
Ooh, neat.
Ah, okay. I was like, where is the legend? But it's in the bottom right. I just...
Oh, yeah. Have to scroll for it.
Oh, you even have our heads. Those little tokens. That's cool.
That is cool.
Number 10. As pirates, I'm drawn to the word booty.
The boutique.
I'm drawn to the word booty for a different reason.
Kymel, as your guide for this legend, says, "Oh yeah, the boutique. They just sell like gems and stuff. Normally kind of overpriced."
So it is not where you would go for booty.
Oh, that. You're probably looking for Sally Brown's then.
Does she happen to have a brother?
Certainly we have
Samuel.
Certainly we have more important things to do than perusing the merchandise, if you will. What is this, the Ninth Life?
Oh, that's a magic shot, but I don't know. That guy kind of gives me the creeps.
Magic? Maybe we should make a stop.
Why does he
Quite a
give
few
you
on here that sound interesting.
I don't know. I just don't really. I'm just of the opinion people shouldn't be that large.
Are you calling him overweight or?
I think
No,
he's saying he is big boned.
We'll go with big bones, sure.
I'm glad we have Damien in our group to help us remember to be politically correct.
Yeah.
I will not have anybody disparaging another person for their physical appearance.
I'm sure
Well said, Damien.
I understand why you especially would have that opinion. So, you said heading to Uncharted?
That's where I'm going.
Well, why don't we accompany you that way, and then we can part ways afterwards.
Sounds good to me. You go to Uncharters. Where is Uncharters? It's 11. It's right here. It's a small little shack, kind of like really easy to miss if you were walking by it. The sign is pretty small, and if you didn't have somebody that knew where they were going, you might just walk right by it. And you walk down a little staircase to get inside, and it's candlelit. There's like some mason work on the walls, and there's just a bunch of holes with clear scrolls in here. The person standing behind the counter has a big backpack, like setting next to them on the ground. With the backpack's like as tall as they are. It's a huge backpack, and they sit there. They have like those spectacles that have like 4 layers to them on, and they ask, "So, what can I do for you?"
Yes, I believe this esteemed gentleman was in front of us.
Yeah, do you have any more of those emerald spyglasses? Did you break it again? Yeah. Well, I guess that's just how things go. I'm still trying to pick a voice for this guy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It sounds weird. You see an exchange of money, and the guy hands him a green spyglass.
What about an emerald spyglass separates it from a standard spyglass?
Oh, it has some special. No, it has a special property. It lets you see stars in the daytime.
That sounds quite useful for navigating folks such as yourself. Is there anything else you needed before we speak to the gentleman here?
He didn't need anything else.
Well, it was a pleasure traveling with you. Fuck, I forgot his name again. Kai something. Kaimel. It was a pleasure traveling with you, Kaimel. I hope we cross paths again.
I mean, you guys are gonna come to the leaky schooner and pick your friend up later, right?
That is true.
He walks out and just kind of waves at you guys. See you in a bit. Oh, by the way, the captain wanted... He comes off as a hard ass and he'd never say it himself, but if you guys want, we could really use some more hands on deck. Then he leaves.
I don't really know if there's anything we need map-wise, but I'm sure our belligerent friend wouldn't mind us taking a look for that island he always mentions.
What's that place called again?
So, do you have any maps that have the Iron Dove Islands on it?
Iron Dove Island. He starts scrolling through his very organized map shelf. And he finds... yes, here it is. Iron Dove Island. Yep, map to it, coordinates right there. 250 gold.
Excellent. I believe it's somewhere off of the west coast of Uspana, is that correct? Just so I can align it with our other maps.
Yeah, that's roughly where it is, if I remember right, but I'd hardly recommend going there without this.
Yeah, something like 60-something miles, is that right?
He kind of opens up the map a little bit and lets you look at it for a second. And you see it's not a map of where the island is, it's a map of the island itself.
Ah.
Getting there is not the problem.
What is the problem?
Getting there without getting seen.
Who would we have to be hiding from?
I don't know. It's a high traffic area. Like 5 different trade lines cross right around there. If you're running from anyone, they'll catch. I don't care who you're running from anywhere. They'll catch you there.
It's more of a curiosity than running away from someone.
You don't have to tell me. Everybody here is running from somebody.
I understand.
Hi, Craig. I'm not gonna worry about it.
All right.
Okay, you said 250 gold pieces?
What'd you say?
You said 250 gold pieces?
That's what I've got on it.
And how much for one of them emerald spyglasses?
100.
How about we call it 300 even, and you have a deal? How many people are really looking in here to buy a map of this tiny island that seemingly is a death trap if you ever travel to it? I feel like as much effort as you've put into it, I'm sure you, a man of your talents, could easily make another copy to sell to some other hapless fool who would want to travel there. But I can't imagine there's much turnover in inventory.
I mean, you got a point. And you know what? Put a free compass in it for you.
I really do appreciate your business.
So 300 gold. Are you paying all yourself?
Does anyone else want to chip in?
I'll chip in. How much do you need?
I have the money. I could cover it, but I just don't want to.
No. I'll chip in.
All right, so 100 gold each.
I don't have.
Well, I can chip in too.
Oh, right, you gave away all your money.
To free a slave. I can throw in like 30.
Okay. Can you put in 70 Perlin?
Yeah.
All right. So then
I can put in 100.
All right, 100 from the wealthy boys and the rest from you guys.
Right, don't judge this map.
That was a slight majority of my money, but that's okay. But just be understanding if I can't afford to do that again.
I understand. I really do appreciate you contributing for a fellow companion. I'm sure he will pay you the money back some way.
I hope so.
Don't judge that map too hard. I made it myself. I could never get it to look quite how I wanted it to look.
No,
No, it's good.
Does it? It's actually really cool. Does the map he provided give us a sort of general idea of how to get to it from where we are?
There's like coordinates on it. You could very easily make it there.
Sweet.
I
believe this concludes our business. I much appreciate it. So, where to next? You mentioned a interest in a magical shop. I wouldn't also mind stopping by the boutique.
Yeah, I think we should visit a few of these places. It's a fascinating town. We don't know how long it'll be before we get another opportunity.
Let's head to the boutique first, and then maybe to the... I'll just stop in. I just want to peruse their wares, and then we can head to the magic shop. No need to come in with me. It'll just be a quick stop.
Oh, okay.
Are you... will you need us to cover any of your magic supplies?
I think it would be best if you guys went ahead and headed to the Ninth Life. Go ahead and scope it out, and I'll meet you there. That sounds like the best use of our time.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I was kind of like, oh, when I'm making this, I should make like versions of their heads for like every possible combination of people. And I was like, oh, that's like a factorial number. Fuck that.
Oh, so they're not individual. It's like one token. That's all 5 of our heads.
Yeah, it's one token. It's all 5 of you.
That's cool.
That's funny. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me how you did that later.
Just Photoshop or GIMP. But so you wanted to go to the boutique, so we're going to focus on the boutique while they're going to the Ninth Life.
Yeah, it's gonna be real quick.
Going to the boutique, you walk past the town center. There are a bunch of like little booths and things set up, and you see people standing in lines for things. You're not really sure what they're standing in line for. You very clearly see the boutique across the way. It seems like one of the nicer buildings in the area. Hang on, the boutique is number 10? That's not supposed to be number 10. Number 10 was supposed to be a pub. Hold on. Yeah. Whatever. That's still the boutique. It's the boutique now. It's a way bigger building than I meant it to be in. Whatever. You walk up these nice like marble stairs, and you go in, and there are glass cases around, and you see all kinds of pretty big gyms, and small gyms, and all kinds of different things. Behind the counter, you see a nice old woman, and she has another glass case in front of her, and you see like rings in that one.
Excuse me, fine lady. I have these family heirlooms that I wish to part with, and I'll set the 2 sapphires I found in the harpy's nest on the counter.
Family heirlooms like this? Hardly things you would part with.
Yes,
Yes.
you know, trying times as it is, you understand. Traveled here from the old country with naught but the clothes on my back and the name I was given with. But these items, of great value, sentimental and monetary, I need them to finance further journey of mine. I'm sure you understand, and you can clearly see their worth.
Yeah, I'm just more worried that, you know, who's got it out for you? What do you need the money for?
Oh, it's nothing like that. Just some
Please,
hard...
Pastor, you don't have to lie to me. We all know.
No. It's just some hard times and need more coin to travel further west.
I'm sure I really not have stuff there. There it is. Okay. Well, she looks through them. They're not too big, but they're not small either. They're about like 1.5 inches each. She says, I can give you about 400 for the pair.
Whew, I mean, these have been in my family for generations.
Roll deception.
Deception. Oh my god.
Oh no.
You know, in this line of business, I have plenty of artifact things that have been in people's families for generations, and most of them actually have a cut to them, or, you know, put in rings or something. This feels like your grandfather just handed it to you and lied to you, sweetie.
That might have been the case. You know, my family used to have a
400.
mine long ago. 450.
350.
350.
350.
Ma'am, I certainly mean you no disregard, but I do understand the value of fine things.
Roll persuasion.
425.
Give me one more roll.
Literally, the things I am
75. Looks like we have a deal.
the things I am literally the best at in this game. Roll a 2 and a 1.
375. She reaches her hand out to shake.
375.
All right.
All right.
Out of that one, you kind of have to take going down 25.
That sucks. All right, and then I'll meet back up with them in the 9th life.
Right.
Uh,
You guys get to the 9th life. And where is the 9th life? This one. You walk in and there's black felt all around the walls. Small little blue flames on candles are the only thing that are lighting everything. As you're looking around, you see all kinds of crazy looking items. You see a little vial with what appears to be lightning inside of it on one. You see an entire rack of swords and blades. You see a bunch of gloves holding on a shelf. One of them even says "sale." You see on the back shelf there's like a clothes hanger section, and you see a bunch of coats and shirts and other things on it. And then and as you peruse around, it doesn't seem like there's anybody in the building.
Have I caught up to them at this point?
They not right now.
Okay.
Hello? Is anyone manning the store?
You don't get an answer.
Well, in that case, I guess everything here is just for the taking.
Hearing that, after you say that, you hear a bell ring from part of the room that you don't remember when you walked in. You feel like you would have noticed it, but it didn't seem to be there before.
Sorry,
Behind-
so no, you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, go.
No, I was going to say. So there was a bell from a door. We didn't notice.
So you walked in. There was nothing on this side of the wall, and now you look over, and there's something over there, and you hear a bell coming from it.
Okay. I will walk in that direction. Be like, is anyone here? Is the shop being run by anyone?
As you get closer, you see two forearms extended from darkness, holding out like this. You see a chin resting on it. You don't see any part of their face up above this, and you just see their hands and their chin. There's a veil of black felt over top of them, and this person is, you think they might have some Goliath in them, but really double dipped on that Goliath.
Like a Goliath stuffed in a Goliath.
Yeah, so their skin is very white, and their arms appear to be about 5 or 6 feet long each.
So more almost like a full giant size.
Close. But this they don't look to have the traditional Goliath, their giant build. They actually look almost skeletal. They're very thin and emaciated looking.
That's off-putting. Hello? Are you the owner of this shop?
What? And what brings you in today, Dyror?
Well, first question, how do you know my name?
I know many. Did I cut out?
You said, I heard
No,
you know,
it's creepy.
I know many. And what might your name be?
I don't really have one.
Can I... never mind. Never mind. I won't do that. Be like, well, I suppose we've come here. We seek magical assistance. We're hoping that you could provide.
What assistance could I provide?
No, I turn to the other two.
Is this a store where we can buy things, or is it something else?
Everything here is for sale. The right price.
Would you happen to have any spell books for wizards?
Mr. Ravisto, I think I have a few that you would like.
I feel like the hairs on my arm standing out, but I'm like, that's good. Good.
He shows you two. One for they're in runes, so nobody else can seems. I don't know if anybody else in the room could read the runes, but you can read it. And then one of them is Speak with Dead, and the other is Mage Hand.
What was the second one?
Mage Hand.
What does that do?
It summons a hand that you can like move shit around with, right?
Yeah, you basically like summon a hand, like a really small hand that you can like move simple objects with and interact with things from a
Incredibly
distance.
small objects.
Yeah, but like so you could like carry a potion to someone from a distance, or like open a door from 60 feet away. You could like spill someone's drink from the other side of the room. Like it's got a lot of uses.
All right, sounds fun. So, what are the prices on these spell books?
Right as you ask that, Atlas walks in the door and he's like, what would you say when you first walk in?
Oh boy, you. Oh, sorry, I forgot the accent. Gentlemen, you would not believe the luck I've had. And then I'll just like sort of see the creepy figure in the corner.
Ah, Mr. Grondike, we were expecting you.
I'm just gonna like clam up for a second. Yes, very well then. And who was expecting me?
10 gold for the Speak with Dead, and 35 for Mage Hand. I don't trust my source on that first one.
I was just about to tell you, fine gentlemen, I happened to stumble upon a pouch in a alleyway right outside of the boutique. It had 200 gold pieces in it. I figured we would split it between the four of us.
Roll a deception check.
No way. How many nat ones have you rolled? 3 so far?
3.
Go with the 2 nat ones! On his best check!
So, I mean, you could tell I'm lying, but, I mean, you don't immediately know that, like, what I've done, I would say, probably, right? Like, it's like, obviously, I'm making up wherever this money came from, but I could just be altruistic.
I'm just gonna kind of raise my eyebrow and say, Atlas, I hope you got this money from a legitimate source.
I can promise you, I did not steal it.
Like, I kind of look at you suspiciously, and I'd be like, "All right then."
Is there anything else I can?
I'm afraid to haggle with you, so I think I'll accept your offer.
45 for both?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, everyone add 50 gold to your inventory.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I'll just go +5 right now.
Store clerk, I did have a question.
What is that?
I'm gonna hold out my arm and ask, do you see anything on my arm? Any writing? Any symbols?
The creature brings their head down, and you see their eyes for the first time. They seem very small in the sockets, and seem to have kind of a red tint to them.
It's a humanoid face though, or like
Yeah, humanoid face. Just kind of beady eyes. He looks down and he says, "Now this is area."
So you can see the marks.
Not by normal means, but yeah.
What do you make of them?
I have seen many things over many years, but I have never seen this before.
Does we know what the markings say. It says you have been seen. I think that's what it said, but
yeah.
a figure beneath the seas, a shanty by the name Bones in the Ocean. Do any of these ring a bell to you?
I've heard every shanty in the book. Yeah. I don't doubt any of them particularly cursed. I've seen many things in the ocean before. He looks puzzled and he starts kind of chewing on the ends of his very long fingers. Do you know what caused the marks? When did they show up?
We believe it has something to do with this key. I'll hand him the key. Just sort of like hold it out. Don't want to like make contact with his hands. Definitely grossed out.
His eyes get very wide when he sees it. I would keep that to yourself. I'm not sure what it is, but I would suggest you start asking the locals. I've heard many of their legends. Maybe they would know something.
Where can we
He then
start?
takes the 45 gold from Poland.
You say ask the locals. Is there anywhere specific we should go? Or should we just meander around town and ask whoever we find?
Magna might know.
Who was that?
I believe it was Magna?
Magnum?
Yes.
That's what he said.
Magnum Dong?
Magna.
Magna, okay.
Magnum dog.
My monster condom for my Magnum dog.
And who is this Magna?
A monster sheep stomach.
An orcish witch. She works at Toil and Trouble. Just outside of town.
A witch, you say? Is she dangerous?
Are you dangerous, Mr. Arjan?
Only to those that would ally themselves with the forces of evil. Those that would harm the innocent.
And those that are ambivalent to either.
What'd you say? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
And those that are ambivalent to either.
As long as innocent is not threatened by them, then I'm open to negotiations.
Well then. Is there anything else you see in my little abode?
Fortunately, I do not have a lot of money on my person. Only about 100 gold. I don't think I would afford anything in this fine shop of yours. It's of magical nature.
Anybody else want to try to buy something?
Well, Davo, if something does catch your eye, might be able to arrange a small personal loan.
Is there anything that would catch my eye?
Um,
I guess maybe like a magic weapon. Or maybe
Okay.
some way to enchant my glaive.
You might be looking. Sorry, what?
Ditto? As in, same?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. um. You start poking around. You do find a large glaive with kind of the blade of it looks like it's made out of like looks. What's the word? It's not. It's not made out of it, but it's
Imbued?
imbued with they're like in feathers engraved into the top of the blade and
Embedded?
Inscribed.
inscribed. Yeah.
Oh, is it not like actual feathers?
No, it's like the metal is the feathers
Got it.
on the blade, and you kind of hold it up and you feel something. You're not sure what you feel, but it's something. I don't think you would see anything else that you would be particularly interested in.
Davo, what do
Just
you
gonna-
have there?
Not sure, but there's a strange weight to it, and it intrigues me.
Something very expensive is what he has.
When you say expensive, what are we talking? Yeah, I'm gonna put this back. I might come back for it though.
Yeah, okay. Damien, you're poking around and you pull out a little. You find a little like it almost looks. It looks really old, but it's like still sharper than like both of your weapons somehow. And it's a little tomahawk.
Like a hand
What can you
axe.
tell me about this tomahawk? Is this used by the natives? How many of my people have been scalped with this here weapon?
You just arrived here. Don't pretend. Just like muttering under my breath.
So you're holding the tomahawk, and he just kind of puts his hand out like this, and the tomahawk flies out of your hand, and then he catches it in his fingers.
How much for this?
200.
What are its stats like?
Standard hand axe stats.
But with the ability to fly back into your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Not a
Royal.
magic weapon? Like, is it
Not
+1/+1?
No, no, it is a +1 hand axe, actually, now that I'm reading it. Sorry. There's a +1 staring me in the face, and I didn't say it.
It's useful, but I don't know, it's not a great sword.
You get the sense that you couldn't afford any of the great swords he has.
Valid.
Do you also need a loan? Poor Royal fallen on hard times.
If you can help me afford a great sword, then by all means, loan me the gold. How much would a great sword be?
About the same price as the glaive.
Like
What was the
1,500.
glaive again?
1,500.
1,500?
Yeah.
I'm saving until my next payday
Trust fund payment.
allowance.
Your next allowance.
What about any, I'm not much of a fighter myself, so the weapons and armor, not really my style. Anything interesting, useful, something with a little bit of utility to it?
He holds out. He holds out his hand in front of you, and a very large hand, like a foot in diameter. And in his hand, his hand is empty. Then he closes fingers, and then he reopens it very slowly. You can watch each finger crack into place as he slowly uncurls it. And there are now 3 items in it, all way too small for. They almost make his hand look even bigger, knowing that the items he's holding all seem to go with hands. He has a ring, he has a glove, and he has a small box.
And what would these items be?
Ring. His character wouldn't be so clear, but I just want to tell you what it is. It says, a ring that allows you to disguise yourself. A glove that does stupid shit. And he doesn't tell you what the box does. The glove is a small black or brown leather glove, and you notice there's a heart sewn into that, though.
Can I take the box and the glove from his hand and look at them myself? Or does he stop me from picking them up?
He'll let you take them.
Okay. Can I open the box?
Roll 3 intelligence checks.
3 intelligence checks. Okay.
Mhm.
Uno, dos.
No, you can't.
Oh, well, you said 3.
I know I did.
Okay.
Is it the sum of them?
No.
My God, it's nothing but low rolls Atlas.
Yep.
Get it out while you can.
So you start tinkering with this box. There's things that turn on it.
So a
and
puzzle box, kind of.
you can hear something rattling inside, and you gather that it's a puzzle box. Yeah.
And then I'll, can I put on the glove and sort of get an... Actually, you know what? I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to cast Identify on the glove, because I have that. I'll just cast it.
No,
not
put it
effectively.
on. It's gonna be way more fun.
I'll put it on, and then, like, I'll put it on and be like, oh, this is stupid, and I'll start to cast Identify, but you can describe what
So
happens once I
after you put it on, the guy says, "That looks very nice on you." Do you respond to him saying that?
I've been more of a fan of paired gloves in my time, but I do admit the single glove does have its sort of rakish charm to it.
After he gives you the compliment, you feel the glove kind of like get a little lighter, and you can feel like the magic energy in it. And in like a moment, you say high five to somebody, and D3. Damien, roll a wisdom save.
Did I high five him?
That checks out. As it starts to like sort of feel like there's some magical presence to it. Damien really just wanted to congratulate you on this very fine job you did on the ship. Put her there, and I'll just handshake.
Yeah. But so you get the sense that you can force any unwilling, that the glove charges every time you receive a compliment, and you can force any unwilling creature into giving you a high five, a handshake, or a fist bump. And
What is that fist bump?
Okay. So
I guess my
wisdom
hand is
save.
50 gold for that.
attracted to his hand against my will.
Yeah. I think you would fail. It would be against your spell.
Oh yes, then he fails.
Yeah.
Did I do that with advantage?
No.
On the condition that I hate him. I don't hate him, I don't think.
There's definitely some contempt.
Loathing.
Yes. Just sort of like a couple of extra pumps in there, even though like it's sort of against his will. Quite an interesting artifact, for sure. And you were starting to say about the box, or is it just simply a mystery?
It wouldn't be any fun if I just told you what was in it.
Well, since I can't ever be sure, 25 gold for the box.
He kind of giggles and says, 100 for all three.
You have yourself a deal. And begrudgingly, I will like shake his hand with the glove on.
Yeah, sure. He tries to, his
Just sort of
large
like-
fingers curl around your entire arm and just kind of move your whole arm in its socket. And then he lets go, and you are now wearing the ring, the glove, and have the box in your backpack after he lets go.
Well, I believe we had somewhere else to be, isn't that right? It was a pleasure doing business with you, and I'm just gonna quickly walk out the door. Creep the fuck out.
By the way, in the magic items folder, you should be able to read about the fish artifact that you guys found.
Yes.
I was actually... Oh, sorry. You go and then I'll go.
Yeah, you just That's a folder you can check on the Roll20.
So I was curious about that. It said, about the I'll just read it. Write a message, seal it inside, and then throw it in the ocean. The recipient will receive it. The fact that Bungus found the bottle, does that mean he was the intended recipient of the bottle, or nah?
So after spending a time with this, you realize that where the bottle ends up doesn't seem to impact the message. So long as the bottle touches the water, the message will be sent. And so...
I mean, it almost seems like he sent the message and whoever it was there on the beach but never realized the message was coming in.
Oh,
that's
that
how
makes
I
sense.
read it.
So... It's like a long distance communication. You don't necessarily need to you don't need to get the physical bottle. You'll see the message just the next time you look at the ocean. Like the bottle won't be there, you'll just like read the message is what I'm trying to get at. So where the bottle winds up is inconsequential to the spell.
Got it. So he would have seen the message even if the bottle washed up somewhere else later.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay. Not the most secure means of transportation or communication. So we definitely want to go to Toil and Trouble. Maybe get some more information on this, sort of curse thing. And also, I'm assuming potions, because it's Toil and Trouble, makes me think potions. And I don't think we have any.
Either that or Bubble and Trouble.
Is there anything else that anyone's particularly like? I mean, you guys have weapons. I don't know if the armory is interesting for you, or the library. If we want to try to do some research, maybe that's after the Toil and Trouble. If we can't find anything about the curse there or the key, we might be able to find something in the library.
I agree that we want to go to the library. I don't want to speak for Dyror, or Coleman. I don't know who you prefer I refer to you. But I don't see us affording any weapons that are necessarily an upgrade from what we have, unless you were looking to find like a cheap set of plate mail. Or plate. Like full plate.
Alright, what were we discussing?
No, just sort of what our plans are next.
I don't think I really need anything
Okay.
in the armory at this point. I think I'd like to peruse more things once I have, more money. But
You
for
mean
now,
when you're not buying goblins?
freeing goblins. Thank you very much. But I do think research might be important. Although Dywar is not very smart, not very smart at all. So I don't know if he would get anything out of that. But he definitely wants to go talk to this Magna.
Yes.
Damien is relatively learned.
I believe you mean learned.
There are two schools of thought on that pronunciation.
Yes, there is the right school and the wrong school.
I'm glad you can admit when you're wrong.
All right, so we head towards Toil and Trouble.
Okay. It's on the outskirts of town. It's over here.
Mm-hmm. I'll let someone else handle the talking on this. I'm gonna get a refill real quick.
Okay. So, you get there, and you can immediately smell all of the different roots and everything that's going on here. The little cottage that you see looks super overgrown, and it's you can only barely see the wood planks that on the side of the building through all of the foliage outside. There's no door. There's actually just vines draped over an archway that you kind of like hold away with your arm as you walk in. And you see the back of someone kind of stirring a large pot, stereotypical witch style. And you see just like long black hair, and you can kind of see her green skin. What do you say to her?
Knock, knock.
You
What
say
is it
knock,
this time?
I say knock, knock.
knock.
Who's there?
People looking for some help. If you can provide.
And what can I provide to you? She turns to you, but doesn't look at any of you.
You're supposed to say, people who are looking for your help, who?
I'm not sure I get that one.
No, never mind. We were told by the owner of the Ninth Life. That's what. Yeah, the Ninth Life. To come seek you out for answers regarding some markings on our arm.
Ah! He's a doozy, that one, isn't he? She's still kind of like moving her head around, but doesn't seem to be looking at any of you.
Do see that word for it.
Yeah. Come in! Have a seat!
Alright, I'll step inside.
There's like little stumps. There's one seat that's like just an overgrown piece of, like an overgrown mushroom.
I'll sit on the mushroom.
What can I provide for you?
Well, you're Magna, correct?
Yes, that's what I've been called for as long as I remember.
How well versed are you in local legends? Does the name, do the words bones in the ocean mean anything to you?
That's crazy.
I remember something. She's still kind of just staring into space, not looking at any of you. Now that you have a better light on her, you can see her eyes are very glazed and not. She appears blind. That's what I'm trying to.
Right.
Yeah. Fun little song. What about it?
It appears to be associated with some markings that appeared on our arm after we found a small white key.
Marks on your arm.
I would show you, but it appears that you cannot see.
Hand it over. She
My
wants her
arm.
hand out. Yeah.
All right, and hold out my arm for her to look at.
She grabs it, and her grip's a lot stronger than you were expecting. Like, you are not convinced you'd be able to break out if she doesn't let go willingly.
All right.
And she kind of holds it in and sets her fingers on top of your arm like this and rubs them down really hard.
I kind of shiver in pain and uncomfort.
Ooh. Ooh. That's a strange one, isn't it?
Yes, he does have scales.
She turns over. Ah, there's more of you. Well, I think those are tabaxi. I'm not sure.
If we describe the shapes of them to you, would that help?
Shapes. I
don't know
my
if you've
concept
been.
of shape is quite different from yours.
I wasn't sure if this blindness was a more recent thing or if a lifelong condition. I wasn't sure if maybe some description would help jog your memory. But if that would not be helpful, we do not have to do so.
That won't be necessary. She grabs some roots from a basket next to her and drops them into her pot, and then starts stirring them down. So, what are those ruins related to? They seem to be... is there anything else?
We did find out what they mean. I believe they say something along the lines of, "You have been seen."
Well, I can tell you that.
There was
But
also a note we found that said, "Beware the key," which we believe relates to this white key with a small gem in it that we found in the corpse of a long-forgotten body.
Key.
We're quite interested to know what this key
Tabaxi.
unlocks.
Tabaxi used to have a temple dedicated to a key until the tieflings tore it down.
What was this temple? Where was this temple?
It was... Find that. I swear I gave that like a name.
Alright, so the Tabaxi Temple was dedicated to some sort of key that was torn down by the tieflings?
A key or a keep?
E. It was at a little location just off of, the name of the lake escapes me, but the Great Lake on Tabax, you never miss it. Just north, somewhere in the desert.
Well, that is definitely a lead that we did not possess before.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Were there, like, potions and stuff in this?
She seems to have some potions and stuff.
Would you perhaps have any potions of the healing variety? We seem to find ourselves in a few dangerous situations I believe might come in handy.
Potions of healing. Not really the type of brew I make, but...
Well,
She
what is
hands
your
you-
specialty? Oh.
Where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. She hands you a basket that has a bunch of stuff in it. You see a vial of something, but also a whole bunch of like roots and plants and scattered things, and says, just on the house. Come back anytime. I always love visitors.
Yes. Quite gracious of you. And, these are?
You've seen brewing stock before. Or, what would she call them? Lost it.
Alchemy supplies?
It's a herbalist bundle. Herbalist bundle.
Got it. Okay. Well, that is quite generous of you.
There's also a potion in it,
And, we will certainly put these to good use. Definitely wouldn't want to, take up any more of your time.
I was going to ask one more question. Your reaction.
Another one.
Your reaction to the symbols, we told you that we believed it to say that we had been seen. And you said you knew that already. Does that mean you just solved what they were saying, or you already knew that we had been seen?
I knew that something was watching you.
What do you
There
mean
are-
by that?
How many are in here? I can feel 5.
Well, there is one more that travels with us who's also marked, but
No, in this room, there are 6 of us, right?
Well, there's.
no,
Is
there
there
should be
another
5 of us.
employee who works here?
5. I must be off.
Are you saying that there's another presence here?
Sometimes I get mixed up.
I want. Let me know if somebody leaves the room when I do this. So I want to grab the key and put it, like, keep it in my hand, but, like, move the key outside.
She just kind of like gets a weird look on her face and says, "I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but
Alright.
not really in the mood for games right now. I've been working on this brew all day, and this is the most time, or this part requires the most attention."
What is it that you are working on?
Ooh, that's a surprise, sweetie. She kind of like holds her finger out, trying to put it over your lips, but like has no fucking clue where you are.
Yeah, and I back up. I'm not letting this lady. Well, we certainly appreciate your time. We certainly will be back to this fine establishment. Just like making symbol, like hand signs to like, we ain't coming back.
Come back and get some when it's finished.
That sounds fantastic.
I do have another question, Magna. You said you recognize the shanty Bones in the Ocean.
Right, yeah, they sing it all the time around here. They sing lots of shanties.
What is that
My old
shanty?
friend Blaggart comes in and sings me shanties all the time.
Oh, you know Milt Blaggart, do you?
Why,
Really?
yes.
We actually were, we sailed here on a ship that he was a cook on.
He's the best cook.
He did make some very good gumbo. But this Bones in the Ocean shanty, what is it about?
That's lyrics. You could look it up.
Oh, is it a real thing?
Yeah, this is a real song. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was a real song.
I'm assuming the England part doesn't pertain.
Yes.
Do we omit the words England and switch in Agria or Agla?
Yes. Agree. But she just says, it's got a lot of different verses. It's about a lot of different things. But mostly about grieving with the death.
I do have one more question. My friend Atlas here, he had used a spell to identify the marks, but he had a vision instead about a figure beneath the waves. Is that familiar to you?
Visions all the time. Visions of many things. Sometimes I know what they mean, sometimes I don't. I don't know. But
Oh,
she kind of reaches out and like starts petting your face.
oh, that's okay.
Back anytime.
I push her hand away very politely and say, "Well, thank you for the help, Magna. It's very much appreciated."
This is Bones in the Ocean, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to use the version of the song without lyrics in it in like this to set the mood.
It's so fucking hard to find sea shanties without like instrumental sea shanties.
I wonder if there's software that can like remove certain layers from a song.
Well, there's
If
not
I couldn't
it's
find
usually just
that, I would
voices.
have. If I couldn't find that, I would have not named this the campaign of Bones in the Ocean.
Fair. That's pretty cool. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we leave the shop, and as we're sort of walking out, well, she certainly was a strange one, but I do believe we do have a little bit more information. It seems that this curse of sorts is associated with the island of Tabax, and maybe where we need to head to find more information on how to remove these marks. We are also quite close to that island that not Dyror. What the fuck is his name?
Fungus.
Bungus. That Bungus was so adamant about visiting. It does seem like it's in the slightly opposite direction, but we are quite close. I wonder if, we could kill two birds with one stone. Of course, we do have to find some ship traveling in the direction we would like, and it sounds like we, as a group, are a little low on funds. Maybe we could convince the crew we've already been working with to head in the direction we want for a reduced rate for work provided on the ship as before. Maybe it's time we circle back to them and find out what their plans are moving forward.
I think that's a good course of action, although their captain seemed very unwilling to depart from his main course before, so there might be a chance that he would not necessarily take us where we want to go. Did he mention something about finding someone that owed him something here?
Yes, but maybe after his business is concluded here, he would be more amiable to take us where we wanted to go.
That's a good point. I suppose we should just return to the ship and see what the crew is up to. Well, no, never mind. They're at the tavern, right?
Yeah. Do you remember what I called it?
Yeah,
it
the-
was the
Leaky schooner.
Yeah.
No. We will go into Sally Brown's.
I don't believe that they have what you are looking for there.
Did you catch the reference there, Jesse?
Is that another sea shanty?
There's a bunch of sea shanties with Sally Brown in it.
Yeah.
I think it means something else.
Yeah, isn't it Bully in the Alley has a verse on Sally Brown?
Is Sally Brown a code for anal?
I think
No, I
it's
think it's just
code
prostitute.
for just like prostitute.
Well, or loose, some sort of woman in general.
Oh, Sally Brown, she's the gal for me.
Hey. Oh wait,
There's like 3 different songs
The
of it.
Sally Brown. I know that song. It'll come to me.
Yeah. Next time I'm singing a sea shanty, I'll send the lyrics out the night before.
Thank you. It's very difficult to try to figure out how to sing a song
Well,
in
trying
an
to
accent.
trying
I
also
can
to
just sing
sing in
the,
time over the delay of Discord is tough.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. So you guys are going to the Leaky Schooner.
Yep.
Okay. Can you all of the things you bought. I don't have them uploaded yet, but
Okay, yeah, no worries.
yeah.
I assume it's
just
a Ring of Disguise cell.
message me, and I will, so that I remember, it was a ring, a box, and a glove.
Yep, I gotcha.
All right. So you guys are literally on the polar opposite side of town, and you walk by. You're gonna get probably in the dock district beforehand, and then walk down the docks the rest of the way.
As we're walking down, Daibor, don't you
Yes.
think my hair looks particularly lustrous today?
Your hair,
Yes, my hair.
I suppose. I'm not very picky about hair, considering I don't have any.
But, I mean, remarking on a travel, I believe my outfit has maintained quite its lustrous properties.
Yes, you do appear to keep yourself very clean, considering the environments we found ourselves in. How do I look?
That's one.
Does that count?
I'll count it as one.
All right.
I don't want you metagaming with that, though.
No, I mean, well, I mean, you said I needed a. I mean, I understand how it works. That I need a compliment, and I, as the kind of person that I am, would 100% fish for compliments for things, not just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not specifically asking like
to be like everybody knows you get you. There's a little thing you compliment. Now everybody just like.
No. It's yeah. I'm not like, hey, Daibor, give me a compliment. It's I'm trying to work it. I'm trying to work it.
No, that was absolutely fine. I was just like saying for future.
Yeah. Yes. Your scales looking quite radiant today. I believe the sea air has done you some good. Cleaned a little of the road grime off you from when we first met.
Yes.
I've been meaning to ask. Do your people not have hair? Or do you shave?
Well, some of us are born with feathers. Some have tendrils, which can act as sort of a hairstyle, but no, we do not have hair, as humans and other creatures have hair.
Obviously, Damien. Doesn't everyone know that?
Out. Apparently not. So just to clarify, I know Quentin, you put a lot of thought into this world. Are the horns and feathers and shit kind of like keratin, like how
Yeah.
it's a yes or no?
Oh, horns would probably be either keratin or bone. It would depend on the species.
Okay, but in the case of Dragonborn, would it be keratin or would it be? Because they're kind of a mammal based on like.
Are they mammals?
They're different from lizard folk.
Yeah.
They are different.
I think they're like echidnas or platypus.
So in my mind, there's the Yitan purebloods. They're like the snake people.
Yeah.
But they still look like people. Those are like the transitional from like the humans to like the reptilian-looking things.
If the women have tits, they're mammals. I'm just putting that out there.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. They're scaly mammals. He's basically just like a giant pangolin then.
You can remember it this way. If they lactate, they're related to primates.
Right. Yeah, so they has keratin. Why? Do you ask?
Just curious.
Okay.
I thought you might have written something about that.
Just gonna say something to Perlin and then he walked away.
Well, say something to me, God.
Okay. Okay. Hang on. So Perlin. While they're having this conversation, I don't know how you're feeling about it. You could be rolling your eyes or just giggling or whatever. But you notice something on the beach. Roll perception.
Okay. Why am I not seeing?
Skills like halfway down, or a little over halfway down.
There it is.
So, you actually don't notice something on the beach, but you stub your foot really fucking hard on something in the beach.
Where are we walking? Are we walking along the beach?
Yeah, you're walking to the Leaky Schooner, which is on the beach.
I figured we would have been walking like on a boardwalk or a pier.
Well, you were walking on the boardwalk, but then it breaks out into the beach.
Got it.
The way to get to the front door is from the beach. So, you stub your toe on another bottle.
Okay. I'm going to pick this up.
Okay. You uncover it, and you see the same kind of like red ribbon around it, the same kind of note in the.
Would I recognize that?
This is the second one you found, but the third one the whole party has found. So yeah, you would recognize it.
Wait, what was the first one I found?
Well, like the second one you've seen. The second one, the first one was the final letter from Halius.
At the end of that. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, at the end of the first session.
Cool.
Okay.
Guess I'll open it. Well,
Okay.
Can I try to detect magic?
You can, but I can already tell you there's no magic left in it. Like the ruins are spent. There's no magic left in it.
Cool. All right, I'll open it up.
I'm gonna say you have comprehend languages, so you could just read this.
Okay.
Are you gonna read it out loud?
What is it?
Oh, I posted it. It's in the handouts. It's the Oldcaster letter. You can read it out loud if you want.
Is that in Discord or Roll20?
It's in.
Would you like for me to read it?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. What'd you say, Connor?
Where is it?
So if you go to the little newspaper up in the top right of Roll20, it's not really a top right, but the second one over from the chat.
Yeah.
And it will be Oldcaster letter. Very
All right, I can read it.
All right.
My dearest nephew, this last battle was incredibly challenging. We were claiming a Tabaxi temple, and they seemed especially vicious when protecting the images of the heathen gods. I may have one arm less to hug you with when I return. I know a mage who may be able to create a replacement. Perhaps we can make a new game with it. I found a key in the temple. It's very strange. I think it may be made of ivory. The translator said the priest refused to say what it opened. How cute. They think they can hide away their treasure from the eyes of Tifla? We will find it yet. I don't have time to search for it now, though. I am having a messenger ship carry the key back to you. Hold on to it, and when you're old enough to sail, I shall bring you on your greatest treasure hunt of either of our lives. Palius.
Huh. Did you read that out loud?
I assume he did. He has comprehend languages, so he'd be able to read Infernal.
Oh, I thought you were saying I was muted. Damn.
Fucking funny.
Could you imagine?
So did you
It was a long fucking
translate
silence if you were muted.
Did he translate it to did you translate it to common when you read it?
Yeah.
I suppose this explains how he lost his arm.
Yeah.
Translator said the priest refused to say what it looked. Cute. They can hide away no treasure. So this might be the key to a cursed cat treasure. Perhaps it is some sort of mouse or fabled catnip.
Fabled catnip.
Perhaps the litter box. In any case, I think we should investigate it further.
I agree. It is a shame that Hallis's nephew never received any of these messages, though.
No, he did. Like
He did?
So, like I said, how it worked was it doesn't matter where the bottle ends up. It's just like you look in the water and whatever was on that letter, like you read it. It's complicated,
Okay.
but there's like narrative purpose for it.
Okay.
So the bottles can wash up anywhere. The message
The
would have been
bottles can
received.
wash up,
Yeah.
and the message would have still been received. Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously the supply ship was never sent because we found the key on Hallius's body. So we also know that his nephew or whatever never made it out there. Or is unlikely to have made it out there.
Right.
Quite an interesting letter. I wonder if we might be able to glean some more information talking to the patrons in this tavern we are headed to.
It's a good idea.
You mean Samuel Brown's?
Yes, Samuel Brown's. And just keep heading towards the leaky schooner.
I keep forgetting to do my build up of the setting of Oldcaster, but anyway,
Oh, trust me, there's been some build up.
As you were walking down the dock, you really start to notice a lot of the architecture of the buildings around here seem to be crafted out of like old crashed ships, especially the closer you get to the water. And you see the leaky schooner is very, like, seems to just be a ship that was like washed up on the beach, and they built a thing in the side of it.
Awesome.
Okay. As you walk into the leaky schooner and you enter, you see the captain sitting at the bar across from a large, fat, fur-balled man with Blaggart sitting next to him. They all seem to be having a conversation. Across the way, you see a table with the rest of the crew, Olzat, Polnareff, Kaimil, and Bungus is also there. However, Bungus and Olzat, the goblin, both seem to be passed out on the table. You
Bungus
step
is
forward.
fine, don't worry.
You step forward, and you get closer to them, and as you get closer, you see a few other patrons in the back, as well as there's like a piano, and there's a man on the piano, and the man on the piano is wearing like an orange shirt.
What
and he
shade
has
of
a hat on.
orange?
He has like a one of those hats that has like the fucking wigs coming out of it. He's wearing.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy at the piano has a hat on, and like an orange shirt. Who do you want to talk to? What? Where do you want to interact?
Do you want to divide and conquer, Dyror? I believe we might be served by talking to many of the folks in this tavern. I know not as many are linguistically gifted as I am, so we could stick together. But I believe there might be many people here that we wish to speak to.
Well, our main goal should be convincing the crew to allow us to use their ship, so to speak, to get to whatever destination we seek.
Well, it seems that we are not a part of this team, and we should seek company elsewhere. Let's get a drink.
I simply meant that Dyror might speak to the crew, and who might you wish to speak to? Damien? that you would have any expertise in gaining any sort of information.
It's
Why don't you go talk to those rundown folk in the back? They
it's
seem
about
like
the,
your
it's
type of
about
people.
the principle. You've been very rude to me from day one.
Oh yeah, you certainly wouldn't want to be rude to Damien.
We would not want to be rude. Thank you, Tom.
Yes, imagine being treated like a lesser person by other people. That'd certainly be horrific, wouldn't it? Damien?
It would be. Thank you, Tom.
I'm glad we.
Especially when I was so clearly not.
I'm so glad that we both understand the situation, Damien.
Perlin, why don't you go with Damien and speak to either the local, the piano player, or maybe the fellas in the back. See if they have any sort of information that might lead us towards this Tabaxi temple, or maybe they have some information about the Iron Dove Islands, both of which I believe are locations of interest to us. While
what temple?
the Tabaxi temple, the one which Archaea might open up something within. Damien, you have something to say? I see the look on your face. You look strained with the thoughts that you were having.
I was just gonna say, Quentin, I want to walk over to the piano man, who I assume looks remarkably similar to Billy Joel, and I would like to slide him 5 gold to play Bones in the Ocean, and like scan around for a reaction.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
surprisingly smart of you.
Alright, so you walk up to him and you slide him $5, and he says, "Oh, what
gold.
can I play for you?"
Gold. God.
5 gold, yeah, my bad. Oh, what can I play for you?
Play Bones in the Ocean.
Bones of the Ocean? I don't know if I know that one. I might have a brother that knows that one.
Oh my god.
How strange. I want to take my 5 gold back. I have no... sorry, I thought you were somebody else.
You get mistaken for a lot of people, it's okay.
How strange for you. Perhaps... Was one of your brothers a sailor? I have some unfortunate news.
You have a brother that's a sailor. His name's, Sailing.
Yes. It seems he was lost at sea. We have a theory he was torn apart by harpies, but that theory is not holding water. Some new evidence may have just materialized.
Let me see what he says about this. He ducks beneath the piano, pops back up with Doc's hat on, and says, "Nope, still alive!" Pops back down and comes back up and just starts playing piano.
Did you figure out how to play Bones of the Ocean?
Right!
You are a remarkably gifted individual. I want to slide.
We'll say it's a harpsichord. That's about what this sounds like.
Fair enough. I'm sliding him 2 gold.
Much appreciated.
I want to scan around and see if anybody has kind of like a look on their face in relation to the song changing.
You see this guy kind of like start nodding along to it and humming.
Which guy? I'm sorry.
Frosty.
Thank you. I believe you mean Shreddy?
No, that's Frosty.
That's Frosty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Frosty.
Okay.
While you're doing this, what's going on the other side of the bar?
What everyone else is doing?
Gyro or Perlin, would someone supervise him? I really hate spending any time with him, but I really do not trust him on his own.
I've been keeping an eye. It's not been so bad.
I'm going to. Daiwor's going to. Daiwor's going to approach the captain.
All right. Are you sitting? Which side of him are you sitting on?
I'll sit on the right side of him.
So between him and, it's like right there.
Yeah, that's fine. If there's enough room.
You sit down, and the guy behind the counter is kind of laughing at him, like, oh, lame. And he's just like taking a drink, simply, and Blackguard's like, Tyror, good to see you again. How have you been enjoying the town?
It's proved very entertaining. There are many interesting folk here in, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of this town. Oldcaster.
He leans in, Blackguard leans in really close, and he's like, I think your friend, might have enjoyed the town a bit too much.
Are you talking of Damien?
No. The one that's sleeping on the table.
Oh, Bungus, right. Yes, that's a very common occurrence. I've been traveling with him for over a year, and I've grown quite accustomed to his drunken stupors.
He's a funny one, that one.
Yes, that's originally why I traveled with him. He proved very entertaining.
I've never seen someone outdrink Olzot before. I've never seen someone outdrink Olzot before. I'm quite impressed.
If there's anyone in this world that could outdrink anything, it is definitely Bungus. But, I would like to have a word with, Captain Flame. And Blackguard, I suppose you would also be involved in this.
He kind of turns to you, smiling, and says, what word would you have with me?
Some information has become relevant to me and my comrades, and it appears that we're going to be needing a ship. I was curious.
Predicament.
Yes, quite the predicament. I was curious, what is your destination after you're finished your business here in
Oldcaster.
God, how do I keep forgetting this? Oldcaster.
He leans back and he's like, I don't know. We kind of had this one job planned, and the man behind the counter says, Vlaine. You were just saying how we were out of things to do after the rum run. Take the lad up on it.
Well,
You know, Tori, fine. Whatever you want, wherever you want to go. Equal share for the whole crew, though.
well, I'm glad to hear that you're so willing to take up this offer. The island of Iron Dove is of great importance to our friends Fungus over there. And the island of Tabax is of great importance to the rest of us.
So which one do you want to be going to first?
Well, I'd have to talk to everyone else, but my assumption is Iron Dove, since it's closer. And there's supposedly a great treasure, if I remember Bungus' stories correctly. Although I
appreciate that when he wakes up.
Yes, definitely. Although I don't know too much about Iron Dove. Perhaps someone else might be able to explain a bit more. I'm sure you're familiar, but...
Oh yeah. We tried to use it as a stash hole once, but that was a mistake.
What is so special about the island?
There's a strange kind of temple on it. I've never seen anything like it before.
Temple dedicated to a god of some specific origin or belief?
No god I've ever seen, but that's all I can assume.
Well, again, I appreciate your cooperation. And of course, equal shares for everyone. I'll let you get back to your drink. Thank you for your time.
Could I hear any of this from, like...
he grabs your shoulder before you head off, and he says, "Welcome aboard, Dairo."
Good to be aboard, Vlaine. Captain Vlaine.
Can I hear any of this from, where I'm at?
No, you wouldn't be able to.
Fair enough.
Atlas and Perlin might, though.
I'm sort of keeping an ear out and
Right.
yeah, not really interacting.
I'll just return the sentiment that Captain Blaine showed me, and I'll just nod to Blackguard, and I'll order both of them an extra drink, however much that's going to be.
1 gold.
1 gold. For both or just
For
for
both.
one? Okay. Alright, I will do that. And then I will return to everyone else and let them know that...
As you go to hand Tori the gold, he says, They just delivered all this. I'm not gonna charge you for it. And he hands you and he pours you 4 drinks and hands them all to you.
Thank you, that's very, very generous. I'll be certain to disperse these amongst my friends.
Did anybody else want to talk to somebody?
What does this guy look like?
He looks younger, like significantly younger than most of the people in the bar. He's wearing robes with a little bit of armor on the side, and the robes look like kind of like religious vestments almost. And he is sitting there, and he's kind of like holding a drink, staring down at it, and just kind of like doesn't seem like he's super comfortable or like socially capable in the situation he is currently in.
All right, Perlin, do you want the rowdy crew or the loner?
What is the loner?
The guy who's in like the religious robes over here.
Oh. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, you know me, my silver tongue, I can fit into just about any crowd. I feel like you might have a better conversation one-on-one with this young man.
Okay.
You go talk to him, and I will see if that group over there has any information.
I think Matt was about to go check these guys out.
He can
Was
come over
not
there as well.
actually. No,
Oh,
actually my plan was to buy everybody in the ship a drink. If I heard, I still just might do that.
All right.
How much do? I'll wait and see what everybody else is gonna do.
Berlin, Atlas, who goes first?
Do you want to go first, Marty?
Sure.
Okay. You walk up to them, and there's like a tiefling, a human, and a dragonborn. From
No. Perlin goes
What?
first.
Perlin goes first.
Yep.
My bad. All right, so Perlin, you walk up and you sit down at the table, and the kid just kind of gets a little more reclusive, sits back, and doesn't seem super comfortable. What do you do?
What was that last one?
What do you do?
Howdy?
Hi.
You seem uncomfortable.
I've never been in a situation like this before.
Seems like a pretty normal situation to me.
Do you know the captain over there?
Yeah. What?
I need his help.
Well, I could talk to him, but you'll have to tell me what you need help with.
I'm looking for a man, and I think I know where he is, and we need to move fast to catch him.
So this man has wronged you in some way?
Yeah, he kind of grits his teeth on that one. Yeah.
Well, do you know a description or which way he went?
I know he's heading west, but I think he's moving fast, and I'm not sure.
Well, what makes you think we could catch him then? Was he on foot or by boat?
By boat.
Oh. Would you accompany on this chase?
Yeah. I need to find him. I think he goes by. I can't say this with a fucking straight face. God no. I think he goes by Captain Neckbeard.
Hear of him. Are you seeking to be made whole or revenge?
He's responsible for. He killed my mother.
So, quest to avenge your mother's death then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Well, I suppose I can speak to the captain. See if he's familiar with this nefarious neckbeard. Sorry. Oh. I'll walk back over to the captain.
Right. Back over the captain.
Right. Are you familiar with a Captain Neckbeard?
He just kind of laughs and he says, Yeah, what about... I can't do a drunk Scottish accent, fuck. Neckbeard, what about him?
Apparently that fellow over there had his mother killed by Captain Neckbeard and wants us to avenge her death.
Hmm.
Are
I'd ride
you?
him if we didn't know if we weren't...
What was that?
Who are you?
You.
I,
I'm gonna like wait.
I'd give him a ride. I'd give him a ride. If he wants... But...
You would.
Yeah, sure.
Are you expecting compensation?
I... Matt, did you catch it immediately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this song though, so it's
I
like
know.
cool to me.
Listen to the song Meritor's Revenge if you get a chance. But yeah. Yeah, it's just that.
I vouch for him.
Yeah, the captain seems pretty admissible to bringing the kid on, but he kind of gives you the feeling that he knows Neckbeard. He's like, Neckbeard's kind of a piece of shit. He's not much trouble. I'd kill the bastard if I could meet him. That kind of deal.
Would you be prepared to leave tonight? I think you may be getting away. I don't know what kind of state you find yourself in.
You're never too drunk to sail, friend.
That.
My friend, I disagree. But I'm sure you are a stronger stomach than Bungus here.
So, did you catch it from the music, or did you catch it from just the...
Both.
Okay.
I was like, well, yeah, we'll talk about it later. I don't want to like.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Like we're wrapping up anyway for the night. Yeah. So that just leaves Jesse's interaction with the NPCs. Yeah, these NPCs. All right.
So I'll just sort of like sit down in the armchair. I'm assuming Damien's brought over the drink at this point. Just sort of sit down, pretend to be like a little drunk.
Yeah, I would like to buy just drinks for the entire bar.
Okay.
And I will come over and sit.
Tori,
With
the
my
guy
foil.
at the bar. When you try to buy drinks, Tori, the guy at the bar, says, "Hey, you helped Blaine bring it here. I'm not charging anyone for it."
4 drinks right here, Damien.
I guess I'll bring I would
3,
bring
I
them
took 1.
around.
Okay.
So since he's not going to charge for them, yeah, I would be kind of like grateful and just like offer to carry the drinks to everyone. And finally make my way over to the 4, including Atlas and the 3 individuals.
Right? When you get there and you set the drinks down, the 3 individuals are all pretty buzzed together, and they just kind of say, "Hey, Eddie, more!" Like they cheer and they're like, "More!" As you sit down.
I guess
Sorry, I was...
Yeah, no, you're good. As I sort of plop down into the chair, pretending to be significantly more drunk than I am. It's really a pleasure to meet you. I'm Atlas. What should I call you 3?
The human's like, my name is Frosty, because that's the only one I fucking remember a name for. And the rest of them... the Dragonborn's like, you can call me, Krumroid. And the Tiefling's like, you can call me Taz.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. That's not my accent.
Maybe he slips into an accent when he drinks.
Krumroid says, it's the first time I've had rum in ever since the embargo.
Yes, has been quite a devastating feature of Olacaster. This embargo, quite difficult, I would say, for all of the sort of like hiccup, the discerning patrons. And what is
He's
your
like-
normal business about these parts? What do you do for work?
After you mention the embargo, he kind of stomps his glass down and he says, that old bastard Kensington's gonna get what's coming to him one day.
You said Kensington?
Kensington, yes. He says, yeah, then you ask him about the thing and he says, well, I guess I'm the head cook around here ever since Blackheart left.
Oh, Blackheart used to work here?
Yeah, before he decided to bail off with some silly little goat man.
You know why he did that?
I don't know what the hoofed people do. I don't get it.
So,
I thought they were brothers or something.
So all of you work at this establishment?
Frosty chimes in and he's like, yep. Yeah, I wait. Yeah, I bartend sometimes, and I wait the tables. A lot of the people that come around here aren't super friendly most of the time. But, I mean, Blaine's always a good customer.
Of course. Captain Blaine, obviously, with the embargo and all that, certainly stirs up some customer support, I'm sure. He was actually telling me a couple of hints of a story. I seem to forget most of the details. Have you heard of the Taxaby Temple surrounding a worship of a key of some kind?
Oz chimes in, the tiefling, and she's just like, oh, that old thing? That's just a legend. Don't believe everything you hear.
Yeah, I mean, he had quite a funny story to the ending, but I had a feeling that there was slightly more to it than he let on. What did you hear? What did you hear? What have you heard about about this?
What do you mean? Like it's like a children's story. Everybody knows it. She kind of looks around and everybody gives her a weird look and is like, maybe just my parents, I guess. Like, you know, old Astorio, like was conquering things, claiming his gold, doing whatnot, and he tears down a temple. And then the Tabaxi put a curse on him, and he went insane or something, right? Like, nobody else? Just me? You guys really should learn something about multiculturalism, Frosty.
And this temple was on the island of Tabax, you said?
Yeah, like, it's one of the Astorio tales. Like, none of it's real.
Of course, yes. It's just one of those things I feel like I missed out culturally on growing up in the old world and want to familiarize myself.
That gold he had, though, that stuff was definitely real. God. You seen the palace that family lives in? Man.
It's family?
The Astorio family.
Hmm.
So
I mean,
you
they're back in the
believe
motherland,
the family might have found the famed treasure, the long forgotten ancestor who tore down the temple, got back to the mainland?
Alex Astorio, he's like... you guys would kind of know Halius Astorio is a pretty known name.
Also named
especially
Halius?
among the people. But she like knows Halius, yeah. She says like, yeah, Halius Astorio, you... Yes, Matt.
Would Halius Historia be like Sir Francis Drake style, or...
I'm thinking kind of a Cortez style.
Okay.
So was Halius Astorio the conquistador, or was he more of the family who ended up with the money?
Well, he was the conquistador, but he sent like a lot of it back. And what I've heard is he only sent a small fraction back, and those people are loaded. My mom took me on a tour of their palace when I was a kid once, and man, you can tell she's pretty drunk.
There was another story the captain was telling me about.
You're a half elf. You've been to Tifa before, haven't you?
Oh, man, it has been years and years. I was such a small child at the time, I barely remember it.
Hey, you should go back so long as you're not like, angry or anything. They'd let you in, but...
No, of course not.
Well...
And these, another story that I had heard in our travels with the captain, surrounding these Eye and Dove Islands west of here. Something about a temple to a mysterious god, and maybe some smugglers that had gone astray. Had you heard about anything along those lines?
Dragonborn chimes in, and he says, Krumroyd chimes in and he says, "It's the birds. It's the bird folk." And the human and the tiefling, they're just like, "Shut up! That's not even a thing." He thinks that there's some kind of bird people that live on the islands. It's true, I've seen them. Yeah, and I've seen Bigfoot.
We've run into Harpies before. You're not speaking of their ilk.
Maybe.
Winged lady folk, more bird than person? Or are you speaking of more person than bird?
The Dragonborn gets really serious and he leans in and he's like, "All I know is that from time to time, these little things, these little statuettes, they show up at the market. Some people find them and they're... I'd give anything to see one right now, but I just... I swear, there are bird people out there." And the tiefling and the human are kind of laughing at him, not really paying much mind to what he's saying.
At the
And the human chimes in and he's like, yeah, do they have big old biddies?
at the market on this island in Olcaster, or is this another market you had traveled to?
I think the librarian has a collection of them, but they're little, some metal statues made of bird. They look like bird people.
Quite interesting. I don't remember quite those details from what the captain told us, but man, it certainly is an interesting story. Of course, just a story. You had something to say, Damien?
I'm just enjoying the company.
Well, it certainly has been a pleasure meeting the three of you. I'm getting quite tired. I wish you the best. I hope this round finds you as welcome as a cool port in a storming ocean. And just sort of like, still like sort of fake drunk, walk off.
Yeah.
I follow him.
And with that, you leave all of them behind. Or you leave, not all of them, but you just kind of leave the crew of the leaky schooner to their being.
After like a minute or two, I'd like to walk back and be like, this couldn't happen to be what you were talking about, and hold out the little bird statue.
The Dragonborn points at it, he's like, that! I swear, those! I've seen them at the library before. And then the other two are just kind of like, yeah, somebody makes them. Like, I don't care. And he says, there are bird people out there and they make these, I swear.
Well, that is certainly quite interesting. I'm sure there's nothing to it. And I'll just like put the statue away. Tip
he
my
reaches out,
hat
he's like,
and my...
Wait. I'll trade you for it. He starts reaching around in his pack and he pulls out 4 potions of healing. And he's like, these are healing potions. I'll trade you all of them for that.
Well, I have grown quite sentimentally attached. It seems quite a lucky charm of sorts. I'd really hate to part with it, but for 4 potions of healing... anything you could do to sweeten the pot?
He kind of starts looking around and he rips his scarf off of his chest and he's like, the scarf too!
I believe we have ourselves a deal.
Okay.
And I'll
You have
pass
4
the
potions of healing.
the bird statue off. 4 potions of healing, which I will then pass out to the rest of you.
Fuck Bungus, am I right?
Yep.
I now have 1 potion of healing.
Okay. Right, and with that, I think this is a good place to pick it back up next week.
Alright, sounds good.
However, before we go, I would like to get a read of the room on where you guys want to go next session.
I mean, if we have Bungus next session, I mean, I think it just makes the most sense to go towards the Iron Dove Islands since they're close.
On the other hand, we will not have Perlin.
That's not for sure. It's just going to depend on how work's going. But yeah, it's
Fair.
possible.
How soon will you know? I guess you'd probably know the day of.
Yeah, probably that day.
Alright. So heading towards Iron Dove Island. How are we feeling about the Mariner's Revenge Kid?
The Mariner's Revenge Kid. Very excited about this adventure.
glad to face Captain Neckbeard.
I would like to hear some Captain Neckbeard dialogue.
Okay.
Those females.
This fucking whore wouldn't even take my gold.
All right.
You'd have to have a pretty high IQ to understand bones in the ocean. Be fair.
Poggers. This is my parrot, Poggers. Poggers the parrot.
Poggers the parrot.
What? Don't open the chest! There's some fucked up shit in there!
Glad we found out.
Women aren't actually people. Squawk. Yeah, I think this was a really good session. This has been my favorite session so far. But yeah, so we're heading to Irondoe Island with the potential of trying to catch Captain Neckbeard.
Yep.
So the kid will be joining your crew next week.
Cool.
So just to clarify, Captain Neckbeard's on the way to Iron Dove Island?
He's west somewhere.
He is west, and Irondoe Island is also west.
Oh, cool.
So we might find him along the way.
You might find him. It depends on things.
I'm really disappointed that Damien didn't share that it's obviously Doc and his his ilk running
Brother.
the piano, but
Piani.
I mean, can we really know for sure? Stranger things have happened. We have a man who can shoot electricity out of his hand.
is that really that strange?
I might share that I think he's alive.
Atlas
After we're back on the ship.
was very concerned about him, so
Yes, concerned. Alright, well, I will catch
See
you
everybody next
all.
week.
Yes, next week. That will be the 30th.
yep.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, 30th.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody.
Later.
Peace.
Just can you post